All right, this is Sirach chapter 11, verse 1. Wisdom lifted up the head of him that is of low degree, and maketh him to sit among great men. This is the brother Kasha Kwala coming back to you with another quick lesson um, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. And today's lesson is going to be geared around, wisdom and where wisdom can place you, okay? And primarily among great men, like it says right here in Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 11 and 1. And we're just going to go with the spirit and expound on that. I have a few precepts lined up, and I hope you brothers are edified. All right, so this is Sirach 11 and 1 again. Wisdom lifted up the head of him that is of a low degree. That's right. When you look into the word degree, it means downgrade. Okay, that's that's why it's funny when people say I got my bachelor's degree. Well, that doesn't really matter because you just got something. You just downgraded. Okay, because when you go to school in this public system, you're dumber than what you were when you came in, probably. All right, and it says, "And maketh him to sit among great men." That's right. When someone has an abundant amount of wisdom or knowledge, understanding with certain things, they're not going to be in a place where, and I'm speaking more so on people in the world, that worldly knowledge, they're not going to be in a place sitting amongst mean men. And I'm going to get that scripture too in Proverbs 22. But as you know, the wisdom and knowledge that we have is the rich, pure knowledge, the pure wisdom and knowledge, okay? Because the wisdom of this world fadeth away, okay? And it means nothing, okay? But the wisdom that we have is the riches and glory of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Okay? But as the scriptures say in Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter, I think the 6th verse, it says, "Folly is set at great dignity, and the rich sit in low places." Okay? But still, since we're still in those low places, does not mean we don't have, the wisdom given to us by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And with that being said, we'll see where the wisdom comes from. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 1, verse 1, and it says, "All wisdom cometh from the Lord and is with him forever." That's right. So even to obtain wisdom and to be lifted up from a low degree, so you can sit among great men, you have to go to the Lord and ask for wisdom. And with that being said, that's a quick precept, and then we're going to jump back on topic, okay? How do you get wisdom? What do you do to get wisdom? Where do you go to get wisdom? All right, this is James chapter 1, verse 5. It says, "If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh, that giveth to all men liberally," meaning freely, "and upbraideth not," meaning not talking behind your back, "and it shall be given to him, it shall be given him." So we understand that all wisdom cometh from the Lord and is with him forever. And how to get it, how to obtain that certain wisdom, is by asking him, by praying to him, in faith. Okay, let him ask in faith, not salat. Well, I'll read that. But let him ask in faith, not wavering. Yeah, so you're supposed to, when you pray, that's a sign of faith, and you're supposed to not have any doubt about it. Okay, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. That's right. So if you lack wisdom, go to the Most High, ask of the Most High, in faith, not wavering, and he will give to you liberally and upbraideth not. Okay? Therefore, this will happen. Sirach 11 and 1. Wisdom lifteth up the head of him that is of a low degree, and maketh him to sit among great men. Okay? Once you get that wisdom. And I have an example of a person or a man in the scriptures we all read about, who was lifted up, okay? Because he had that wisdom. So, this is Daniel 1 and 1. It says, "In the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, into Jerusalem and besieged it." Okay? I just wanted to read that first part to give you the timeline, and that's about around 605 BC, if I'm not mistaken. Just to verify, I'm going to go ahead and go to the hard copy of the scriptures. And you can find this information in Second Chronicles, the 36th chapter, because that's when, around the time that Nebuchadnezzar, and this is Nebuchadnezzar the second, came about. All right. It says Jehoiakim. So, yep, this is around Jehoiakim's reign was around 609 BC to about 598 BC. And when this happened in 605 BC when he besieged it. Okay, and that was in the Battle of Carchemish, if I'm not mistaken. And that battle, yeah, that was the Battle of Carchemish in 605 BC when Nebuchadnezzar officially besieged Jerusalem, and Jerusalem became a tributary unto him. And then when you go on, I think 587 BC, when Zedekiah was ruling, that was like the last king of Israel to really rule like that. That's when it got ransacked. That's when the prophecy Psalm 137 came into play. All right. So continuing Daniel 1, I'm gonna skip down to verse 3. And spake the king of Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, and that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed, and of the princes. And remember, we just read Sirach 11:1. It says, wisdom lifteth up the head of him that is of low degree. So we understand right now that the children of Israel are in a state of bondage or captivity under the Chaldeans, under Nebuchadnezzar, who was ran by Nebuchadnezzar. In all actuality, Nebuchadnezzar, because this is the Babylonians, Nebuchadnezzar was actually an Assyrian. He was from what you would call Ashur, okay, which would be one of the 18 nations. He wasn't really a Chaldean or anything of that. He wasn't Babylonian, okay, but he just ruled it. All right, all right. It's kind of like what Ptolemy ruling Egypt, but he's not an Egyptian. He was an Edomite, okay. So this is Daniel 1:3. And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed, and of the princes. Verse 4. Children in whom was no blemish, but well favored, and skillful in all wisdom, and cunning in knowledge, and understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, in whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans. That's right. So he's like, I only need a particular set of men or children to be in my palace that have this certain type of inclination of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I don't need no bums. Okay? So I'm gonna jump down later in that chapter to verse 18, and it says, now at the end of the days that the king had said he should bring them in, then the prince of the eunuchs brought them in before Nebuchadnezzar, and the king communed with them, and among all was found one like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Therefore stood they before the king. And why did they stand there before the king? Because right here, all wisdom coming from the Lord, they asked for it. And when you go back to James 1:5, without wavering, and 6, because they have faith in the Lord, okay? And the Lord gave them wisdom to lift up their heads and make them sit among great men, okay? They're in a royal palace right now. They're sitting amongst kings and princes and generals and things of that nature because of their wisdom, like we understand when we read the 4th verse. Okay, they were well-learned men. They had knowledge about a lot of things. So that brings me to Proverbs 22:29. It says, "Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings." And that's what Daniel's doing right here, standing before King Nebuchadnezzar II, because the Lord inclined him to have wisdom. All right. So going forward, it says, "He shall stand before kings and shall not stand before mean men." We look up to that word mean, it means insignificant. Okay? So let's just get the word so I'm not speaking idly. Alright? And it means obscure, insignificant, or low. Alright? Which that word mean in this meaning, in this definition, could be a synonymous to the word bastard, which means an insignificant child. Alright? So we see there that because of their wisdom knowledge that the Lord ordained and gave them, okay? It was ordained for them to have this wisdom and knowledge and understanding in all types of atmospheres and different type of genres, you could say. Now they're standing before kings. Therefore, this is why this scripture is here right here. Wisdom lifteth, Sirach 11:1, wisdom lifteth up the head of him that is of a low degree, and maketh him to sit among great men. Okay? So finishing this off, and then I'm going to switch the gear to apply this to what's going to happen in our lives. Okay? Because we understand this is during the time of 605 BC. Okay? Verse 20, in all matters of wisdom and understanding that the king acquired of them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers that were in all his realm. And Daniel continued even unto the first year of King Cyrus. Okay? So even with that, it shows that the wisdom and knowledge of the Most High is more precious and more valuable than any other wisdom out there. And Nebuchadnezzar saw that. All right? I'm going to get one quick precept, and then I'm going to move to what I was trying to pull out pertaining to us for today, where this wisdom and knowledge is going to get us. All right? This is Romans 11:33. Oh, the depth of the riches both of wisdom and knowledge of the Most High. How unsearchable are his judgments and his ways past finding out. That's right. That shows you how valuable the wisdom and knowledge the Most High has gave to us. All right? And it's a beautiful thing. That's why when you go into Matthew, the 25th chapter, and it speaks about the talents, and our elder apostle Gabar had a great video, you ain't supposed to be fucking with the Lord's money, because this is the money that he's giving you. All right? I remember me and the elder brother Barzal down here in the Atlanta church, we actually looked up that word talent and how much a talent is, like physically in the carnal aspect. A talent is actually a lot of money. So just thinking that he gave him 1 or 2 talents, no, he actually gave him a whole bunch of money. A talent is a lot of money, okay? And that's understandable why he would say a talent, because his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is a lot of money, because it's going to get your salvation and ultimately get you everlasting life, okay? And dominion and rulers, slaves, everything, galaxies, planets, okay? This is what this wisdom is going to get us. It's very valuable, all right? And Nebuchadnezzar can see that in these 4 men, all right? So where this wisdom and knowledge is going to get us, like it says right here in Proverbs 22 and 29, it says, seest thou a man diligent in his business? We're making videos. We're linking up with brother. We're going to camp, okay? We're fellowshipping, all of that, to the best of our abilities, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, okay? It says, seest thou a man diligent in his business? Because this is our profession, just to prove that correct, because the scriptures say prove all things, all right? To prove that correct, this is Hebrews chapter 3, verse 1. It says, wherefore, holy brethren, partakers of the heavenly calling, consider the apostle and high priest of our profession, Yahushua Mashiach. But the point of the matter I want to bring out, it says our profession, which means our work, okay? So it says, seest thou a man diligent in his business, in his profession, in his work, okay? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. And that's going to be us coming soon, but in a different manner, of what Daniel and Meshach, Salat, and Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah went through. This is what we're going to go through. Some of us are going to have this lot. Okay? This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves, but ye therefore wise as be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Okay? But it says wise. And what wise or wisdom are we going to use? The wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's why you have the Isaiah 33 and 6. Okay? Verse 17. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. Verse 18. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. Verse 19. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. Okay? But the point of the matter is these two verses. If I'm not mistaken, this is sitting amongst great men. Okay? Because and some men are going to get to this position because the wisdom that lifted them up to sit amongst great men. All right? Some men in this truth, because the time is coming, are going to be sent up to the elites, which are considered the great men of this world right now, because they're at the top. Those are the kings of this wicked ass place right now. Okay? And again, to prove that correct, this is Sirach 10. Okay? To prove that correct, this is Sirach 10. It says, Sirach 10 and 3. It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people. And we can see this entire place, the whole world is destroyed. The people are bugged out. Everything is gone off course and off its equilibrium and literally thrown off the pivot. Okay? But through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. Okay? So that's just a slight something to prove that the elites right now are the kings of this place, because this place is shitty, for lack of better words. Okay? It's completely destroyed. All right? The earth is mourning, so are the people, when you go into Proverbs 29 and 2, if I'm not mistaken. That's another way to prove who that the elite right now are the great men, are the great men. All right? Let me go back. Salat. That proves that these among great men are those elite that we're gonna be faced against. Okay? So again, it says, but beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the council. Beware of men, because they will deliver you up to the councils, because your wisdom and knowledge and understanding that the Lord gave to you. And they will scourge you in their synagogues, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake. Because some men, like I said, are going to go up to the elite in that day and tell them their judgment. Straight up. Tell them their judgment, okay? For a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak. You're not going to have to take thought about it, because the Lord's already going to put into you what you're going to say. You already know what you're about to say, because the Lord put it into your mind, into your heart. That's why you have Proverbs 16 and 1, okay? The answer of the tongue, which it speaks in that scripture. The answer of the tongue. So the Lord's going to put it into your mouth to give them the elite, once you get brought up to the governors and kings, because your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, going back to Proverbs 20, 22, and 29, to tell the elite, yo, you're going into slavery. Yahweh Shai is going to come crack the skies, given from the order of Yahweh with his legions of angels, and y'all gonna get smoked. Your whole enterprise, your whole corporations is gonna get smoked by 200 million missiles. listen to it and weep. And it's going to be said and done. And then they're going to speak their piece, probably. You know what I'm saying? Or angel might get you the hell up out of there because they're going to try to torture you or something. But you because of your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you were brought up again, to great men, man. That's Satan out there, man. That's straight Satan. Okay? But because of our wisdom that was given to us by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, this is what we're going to have to encounter, man. Okay? And just to end the video off, I'm going to finish with the verse that I started off with. Okay? This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 11, verse 1. Wisdom lifteth up the head of him that is of a low degree, and maketh him to sit among great men. I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144. Shalom.